Okay, so this is a lower body strength focus session. So for this, we're just going to work on two simple concepts. So the first concept is timed static contractions, right? And the second one is we're going to pre-exhaust the muscle groups of the adductors and the abductors before we move into door squats. And when we go into the door squats, they're going to be partial range squats with a very, very slow tempo. And this combination is going to absolutely crush your lower body without needing any equipment, okay? So what I've done is, I have done a demonstration, a full demonstration of the three exercises, okay? So they're going to follow suit after I speak here. And once you have watched the three exercises, I'll explain how we put them together. So I'm going to show you a little technique that's going to allow you to manipulate every squat, because a rep is not just a rep. You can manipulate every squat so that you can create a progression of overload and increase the intensity of just a bodyweight squat. Because when you're in an environment where you don't have access to more weight or more external load, or maybe if you don't have the strength or the mobility to do single leg squats, this can be quite a useful technique for you. So you're going to need a biro, and you're going to need maybe like a stack of books is what I've used here, or maybe a low box. So before we start, we have to realize that there are certain parts of a squat that require more muscular force than others, right? So if you have a good level of mobility and if you can get down here, then this is a resting position. There's really no energy required to hold this position, as is this. So as we start to flex more at the ankle, knee and hip, we're starting to create more tension, and the movement gets a little bit more difficult until we reach that point of the highest amount of muscular force required. So what we're going to do here is we're going to step in front of the edge of the door. We're going to have our biro. We're going to drop down a third. So you take your normal squat pattern, your normal squat setup, and you drop down about a third. And from there, you make a mark at eye height. From here, you drop down, you keep going down until you find that you're just at your sticking point. So if I drop any more here, I'm resting. At this point, you make another mark, and you can have your stack of books so that you're hovering above them, and you come up. Now, the next thing I want you to do is download a metronome. And a metronome is going to help you with the tempo. So for this set, we're going to work between those 2 points, about a third down and just above resting. We're going to work 10 seconds down and 10 seconds up. And that's one rep. Now the beauty of having the door here is that squatting is, it's a balance skill. So if you're lacking the balance, you can use the door to help you balance. So the door is your friend as well as your foe in this set. So we're looking for 10 seconds down and 10 seconds up. Okay, so you start at your eye height, because that's now your starting height. So we can see that that really requires a lot of tension and a lot of stress through the quads to actually complete the rep. So it's a really good way of increasing the intensity and increasing the overload of. So this time we're going to work adduction, and we're going to use the timed static contraction method again. So we're going to use maybe 2 books. We're going to place them between our knees. Make sure that again the hips and the knees are aligned. We don't want the knees higher than the hips or the hips higher than the knees. We're going to reinforce posture, and for the first 20 seconds we're going to squeeze the books, okay, at 50%. Then the next 20 seconds we squeeze at 70%. Then the next 20 seconds at 90%. And then your last 20 seconds, 100%. We want to really feel it working the adductors and the inner thighs. And 20%, you can work hands across your, 50%, sorry, hands across your shoulders, 20 seconds, just working 50%. Now up to 70%, so we're squeezing a little bit harder. Now up to 90%. Now keep that tension on. At this point now it should be burning on your inner thighs. Really, really, really burning the inner thighs. We're getting ready for an all-out 100%, and off we go. There we have a timed static contraction for the adductors, increasing the intensity every 20 seconds, working for 80 seconds in total, no equipment needed, and it's a really simple, practical exercise to work a muscle group that's often overlooked. So the next movement we're going to do, we're going to work the abductors of the hips, okay? So the muscles that are responsible for bringing the hips this way, essentially, abduction, okay? But the training principle that we're going to actually adhere to is a principle called timed static contractions. And what we want to do is we want to have some form of an implement, and in this case we're just going to use a belt that's going to provide us a resistance that we actually cannot overcome. So it's like overcoming resistance or yielding isometrics. They're all basically revolve around the same principle. So what we want to do is we want to bring the feet into the belt, and we want our knees at the same level as our hips. We don't want to have our knees higher or our knees lower. So make sure that you're sitting on a box or a bench that facilitates that. So what we're going to do is we're going to work 20 seconds at 50%, driving your knees outwards, okay? So we have 20 seconds at 50%, 20 seconds at 70%, 20 seconds at 90%, and then you have 20 seconds all out. So we're going working for 80 seconds, and that's our timed work, okay? So again, reinforce the posture. You want to have your hands either folded across your shoulders, and first 20 seconds start at 50%. So make sure that we breathe throughout the set. So that's 10 seconds, we're only at 50% now. trying to break the straps. Now we're building up to 70%. So you keep working. You make sure that you keep the same level of pressure or tension on the strap. Keep breathing. Now we're on to 90. This gets really tough. Make sure that you're keeping that tension. You're working really hard because you have to really dismiss any option not to apply the same amount of tension. And now all out. As hard as you can, trying to break the strap on the belt. 10 seconds left. And time. Now we're going to really feel that working, that glute med and all those muscles that are responsible for abduction. So now that you've seen the actual exercises, this is how we're going to put it all together. So you're going to set your chair up beside your door that you already have marked. You're going to start with your adduction movement, which is having the books between your knees. You're going to work the 4 levels of the 4 intensities for 20 seconds. 50%, 70%, 90% and all out effort. You work that, that's going to be 80 seconds of work. You get straight to your feet and you go straight to the door. Once you get to the door, you set up at your first height and it's 10 seconds down to your bottom height and 10 seconds up, back up to that first height again. You're going to complete that 5 times. So it's 5 reps at a tempo of 10 seconds down and 10 seconds up. That's 100 seconds of work. That is your first round completed. So it's a superset where you put the timed static contraction together with the door squat. From there, you take a 3-minute break, and that's really, really important because you're going to need it as the rounds go on. Once you're finished there, you get back down to your chair, and now you're going to work abduction, where you put the belt around your knees, and again, you work 20 seconds at 50%, 20 seconds at 70%, 20 seconds at 90%, and 20 seconds all out. From there, you take the strap off as quickly as you can, and you go straight back into your door squat, and you repeat the very same amount of reps for the very same time on the door squat. So it's 5 reps of 10 seconds down and 10 seconds up. So that is your second round done. Your third round is round 1. Your fourth round is round 2. Your fifth round was the same as round 1. And your 6th round was the same as round 2. So you're always working for the same tempos and for the same amount of reps between the timed static contraction movements and the door squat. The door squat is on every round and the timed static contraction movements are alternating on every round between abduction and adduction. So this is a very, very demanding workout. Make sure you keep your 3-minute break between, and you're going to see just how hard you can work by just using your body weight alone.